I'm Robert Lewis, so my title is, and my job here is pastor of Hinton Avenue United Methodist Church.
I'm Pastor Elizabeth Emery, co-pastor of New Beginnings Christian Community.
My name's Brenda Brown Grooms. I'm one of the co-pastors at New Beginnings Christian Community.
For me, being an advocate is using my voice, my presence, my privilege, whatever I have at my disposal on behalf of someone else.
Advocate means to be standing with the people that you are serving and speaking with them and using any kind of authority you have or power that you may have to work for their benefit with them and guided by them. We don't choose to lead, but we choose to work with and follow the people that are in need so that we're not advocating for something that they don't want or don't need.
In good Christian parlance, it means to come alongside, walking with people, talking with them, commiserating when we need to, boosting and encouraging, but we're side by side, we're going together.
What 2017 did is it made us confront on a couple of very particular occasions, in a couple of very extreme ways, what so many of Charlottesville's people have been living with on a daily basis. We have been associated with the Charlottesville Clergy Collective for the last few years. And that clergy collective was a deliberate coming together of clergy of different denominations of other faiths as well. It's not just about the clergy getting to know each other. It's about trying to link our congregations as we educate ourselves to educate them and to act together. And so the ID program is an example of something that others in town were looking at. After 2017, the mayor had called together a group of people, and they put together a group called Welcoming Greater Charlottesville that was trying to identify some specific ways to work to make the community more diverse and inclusive. And so that group approached the Clergy Collective and said, hey, would any of you like to help us? And it was through our connections there that Liz and Brenda and I kind of stepped forward and said, hey, that sounds really interesting and that sounds good. And so it's something that the Clergy Collective itself didn't, organize, but because we were connected to one another, individual congregations were able to partner up and say, we think we could take this on together.
These IDs are welcomed by the schools, the library, the hospitals, and most important by the police department and sheriff's department, so that if a person gets stopped on the street or while they're in an automobile and they don't have any other identification, they can present this to an officer and it will certify who they are and be recognized as an acceptable ID for them.
It is the considered goal of the ID committee to make Charlottesville a welcoming place for everybody. We have a little bit of trouble with that, but particularly immigrants and those who are othered in any way. There has to be a place where there is really a welcoming mat, and welcoming mat activity. And the ID program is that for me. That's why I endorse it. This is an age of divisiveness when people think they can talk down to others and treat other human beings as though they were less than. Because that is the case, I think it is the job of this generation to make sure that there are oases in the desert. And the ID program is one such oasis where people see by our actions, by what we provide, that they are too welcome, that they are recognized to be not just human beings, but brothers and sisters in a community that we're trying to forge and make stronger because of acts of love and charity.